Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So, it has been a hot minute since I last sat down and spoke to you. And it's been a long time since I've actually done a video. I'm not with it today. But, see, can't even function. I cannot function today. I cannot express enough how much I cannot function. So this video is either going to go one of two ways. Either I'm going to ramble a load of crap, or I'm just going to forget what I'm saying and just go off the subject. Probably both, not going to lie. See, doing it right now. Anyway, irrelevant. Doesn't matter. So, a while ago I said I was going to start a show history, series. Totally forgot about it. I've done one video. You're getting the second one now. So, today's video is one that I've had so many people message me about. And they're like, Zoe, why have you not done this one? Why have you not done this one? You've said it enough times. Do it. I'm like, give me a chance. I am not a juggling octopus. I have stuff to do in my life. No, I'm joking. I really don't at this point. But, yeah. Irrelevant information. Story for another time. We're not here to discuss this. Anyway, today's show history video, I'm going to be talking about Heathers. I know I said I'm going to do this one in my last show history video. If you've not seen the last show history video, go check that out. You'll find it on the page somewhere. I say somewhere, it's probably like 3 videos when this one gets uploaded. But yeah, got everything up on my laptop, because it's a lot. It is a lot. It is a lot to talk about. So, yeah. Just sit back and enjoy. So, I normally start these off by explaining the plot, but with Heathers, don't think I need to, because it is a very popular show with a very, very, very popular fan base. So, yeah, I'm not going to bore you with the plot, but to simplify it, Veronica Sawyer meets Jason Dean and 3 people end up dead. That's literally the plot. So lively. No, I don't mind Heathers, it is a good show. But, yeah, so, now let's talk about the creative team. So, the book, music and lyrics were written by Lawrence O'Keefe and Kevin Murphy. So, when the show first came about, I am not sure if Andy Fickman was involved, but obviously Andy was is the director, not was Zoe? Is the director for Heathers. So, the show was actually first known in 2009, where 3 private readings of the work in progress. So Lawrence O'Keefe and Kevin Murphy threw this idea together. Oh, Heathers is a really popular film. Let's make it into a musical. And honestly, for that show to still be going 13 years later with, it's mind blowing. It does baffle me how one idea but you write down with pen and paper, and the success that comes from it. Anyway, you don't need to be bored with that crap. So, like I just said, 3 private readings of this work in progress, as you want to call it, were held in Los Angeles back in 2009. So, each of these 3 readings starred Kristen Bell as Veronica. So, Kristen actually never went on to like a proper stage production. She just did these readings. So she never actually got to take the role to stage. So the first reading was in March at the Beverly Hills office of I'm not even going to pronounce that. Endeavor, so you know what I mean, agency, and that starred Kristen Campbell as JD. And then the second one was in June at Hudson Theatre in Santa Monica Boulevard, which starred Scott Porter as JD. And the third was in December at Coast Theatre in West Hollywood, and that starred James Snyder as JD. Now, James Snyder is going to appear, his name's going to appear again, but the role changed. So, yeah, I just wanted to point that out in case you're watching this and thinking, that name rings a bell. So, yeah, so for each of these readings, the roles of the Heathers were played by Jenna Lee Green, Corey English, and Christine Larkin. So, yeah, and I'm not too sure who played the rest. But, yeah, those are just the names I managed to actually find when I was doing, like, my research for this. So, yeah. So, we now cut to a whole year later, and we go to the 13th and the 14th of September in 2010. And Heathers was presented at a concert in Joe's Pub, but I think that's in LA or New York. It's one of them. So this concert was where Andy Fickman came in and he directed. So this concert starred Annalee Ashford as Veronica Toya. I'm going to say a lot of these names wrong because some of them are really hard to pronounce. Jeremy Jordan as JD, and these 3 names again are going to sound familiar. So, Jenna Lee Green as Heather Chandler, Corey English as Heather Mack, and Christine Larkin as Heather Duke. So, like I mentioned before, they obviously did the 2009 readings, the private readings. So, yeah, it's good that they actually managed to take the roles that they read for to a stage in some way. I was gonna get all fancy then, but yeah, we're not gonna do that because it's gonna go terrible. So this is where the name I mentioned before comes in. So James Snyder actually played Kurt for this concert version, and he previously played JD for the reading, the third reading. So yeah, he played Kurt. And then PJ Griffith played Ram, Julie Garner played Martha, Eric Leviton played Ram's dad, Kevin Parisu, I'm going to go with Parisu, sorry if it's wrong, as Kurt's dad and Principal Gowan, Jill Abramov something. So irrelevant. But yeah, you catch my drift. As Miss Fleming and Veronica's mum. So this is actually where I actually got quite interested, because the ensemble tracks, some of them are different names. And yeah, it's kind of weird to obviously look at this and see how Heathers has literally developed. Like, it has full on developed over the years. So, anyway, getting onto it. So, in the ensemble, we had Tom Compton as Hits the Dork / Preppy Stud, Alex Ellis as Goth Girl / English Teacher / Young Republicanette, and Kelly Karabax as Stone Chick / School Psychologist. So, that was just a 2-day concert. I want to say New York, or I think it was New York or LA, but I'm actually going to get onto the LA run now. Sorry about this, guys. So, we now literally cut to like 2-3 years after this. So, an LA run was announced and it played at the Hudson Backstage Theatre in LA for a limited run on the weekends from September 21st of 2013 to October 6th of 2013. So this was like kind of its big world premiere, because this is where obviously everything came together and the show just like came up and up and up. So this is where you know what I mean. So the cast included Barrett Wilbert Weed as Veronica, Ryan McCartan as JD, Sarah Halford as Heather Chandler, Crystalline Lloyd as Heather Duke, and Elliot McLemore, that's it, as Heather Mack. So, oh my god. McElmore is the only Heather that remained with the cast when it transferred to Off-Broadway, but Alex Lee left the production for that, and Kristen Lloyd reprised her role as Heather Duke when it went Off-Broadway. So, Alice Lee did have have a run with the Off-Broadway show, but again, we will get into that. So, yeah, it ran in LA for a bit, and then it was announced that it was going to move to Off-Broadway in the same year. And then that opened in February 2014. No, it didn't. The cast was announced in 2014. Zoe, for God's sake. So, the cast was announced, and it was also announced that Barrett Wilbert Weed, Ryan McCartan, and Ellie McLemore, oh my god, I'm so tired today, would reprise their roles as Veronica, JD, and Mac. And then there was new additions to the cast, with Jessica Keenan Wynn as Heather Chandler, and Alice Lee as Heather Duke, and Tony Award winner, had to get that in there, Anthony Crevello as, obviously, Bill Sweeney and Big Bud Dean. So, previews for this began on the 15th of March 2014, and there was an official press night in 2014, of course it was 2014, on March 31st, 2014. So then, a cast album was recorded on the 15th and the 16th of April, and that was available for purchase and digital release on the 17th of June 2014. And then it was released a week early, for some odd reason, on June the 10th. So, excuse me. So, this Off-Broadway run ran at the New World Stages, obviously, in New York, and it had its last performance on the 4th of August 2014. So, now we cut. So it's been like 3 years, and we now cut to London. So a workshop at the musical opened at the Other Palace in London. Heather's is very popular there. Not gonna lie at this point. So that held 5 performances in the studio. If you know the Other Palace, you know that the studio is based like downstairs. From the 30th of May to the 3rd of June in 2017. And the workshop featured Charlotte Wakefield as Veronica. So, following the workshop, it was announced that Heathers would get its official London premiere at the Other Palace from June the 9th to the 4th of August in 2018. So, this saw Carrie Hope Fletcher as Veronica, Jamie Moscato as JD, Dawn Anderson as Ram Sweeney, Edward Bauer, I want to say, as Ram's dad, and John Boyden as Kurt's dad. And obviously, we know the cast. We had Jodie Steele as Heather Chandler, Tashawn Williams as Heather Duke, and then Sophie Isaacs as Heather Mack, who she played in The Workshop as well. Rebecca Locke as Miss Fleming, again, same in The Workshop. Same with Jamie and Dom, they played the same roles they did in The Workshop, and some of the cast stayed the same. Those that I mentioned. So this London production was produced by Bill Kenwright and Paul Taylor Mills, and it was directed again by Andy Fickman, with choreographer and associate director Gary Lloyd, who is still with the show. All them creators are still with the show to this day. So for the London production, there was new songs added. So Blue was cut. Thank the Lord. Hated that song, I'm not gonna lie. Hated Blue. And that was replaced with You're Welcome. And Heather Duke got a big solo number. Personally, to me, I think it's kind of like an 11 o'clock number, called Never Shut Up Again. And there was script changes and yada yada yada. So, Heather's did fantastic first time round at the Other Palace, to the point where it actually broke the box office. So, it was then announced that Heather's would transfer to the Theatre Royal Haymarket, so it got a West End transfer. So that would open on the 3rd of September 2018 and close on the 24th of November 2018. So, a couple of weeks before the Other Palace run ended, there was a new song added in Act 2 for Veronica called I Say No. Personally, so glad. So glad. And that was added mainly for the West End transfer, but it got added into the show for, I think the last week of the Other Palace run. Could be wrong. Carrie said it on one of the vlogs, that it was literally an idea and it went into the show within 3 days after the idea was, it was complete madness. Excuse me. So, yeah. And then a UK cast recording came out, and that was released by Goat Light Records on the 1st of March in 2019. So, Heather's closed at the Haymarket. Sorry, my LED lights have decided they just want to fall down on me. So, Heather's closed at the Haymarket on the 24th of November, and then this cast recording came out a few months later. So, the album actually premiered at number 1 on the iTunes UK soundtrack charts and at number 2 on the iTunes UK album charts. And then the album premiered at number 24 on the official album charts. So, cut to all that, yada yada yada, we all know it. And then on the 3rd of March, awards was won, and Carrie won Best Actress in a Musical, and obviously Heather's won Best New Musical. Now, I do not need this anymore because I know what I'm talking about. So, now we've got all that out of the way, we're going to talk to the last couple of years. This is where I get comfy because we are going to be a while. And before I do that, I'm going to have another drink. Sorry about this, guys. So, Heather's obviously closed on the West End, and everyone thought, oh, well, is this going to be it for it in the UK? Nope. Not if Andy Fickman and Paul Taylor Mills had anything to do with it, which they did. So, it was announced that Heather's would go on a UK tour in 2020. Obviously, that got postponed, and it got pushed to 2021. So the UK tour saw sorry. The UK tour saw Rebecca Wicks as Veronica, Simon Garner as JD, Madison Firth as Heather Chandler, and then Mac and Duke were played by Lizzie Parker and Meryl Lansder. So Meryl had actually been the understudy for Duke when it was at the Haymarket, and also that's where Drama Club Drama Queen was originated from. So that actually wasn't at the other Palace production. It got brought in for the Haymarket. So yeah, and then there was also 2 productions going on at the same time in the UK, one in London and one obviously on tour. So the London run saw Christina Benton as Veronica and Jordan Luke Gage as JD, and also the London run brought in the very first POC Martha. I had to throw that out there because honestly it made my year finding out that there was a POC Martha. Loved it. And that also saw Jodie Steele reprise her role as Heather Chandler, along with Frances Mailey McCann as Mac and Bobby Little as Duke. So I didn't actually get to see the London run with Christina and Jordan, which I am gutted about because I would have loved to. But as we all know, I saw the first UK tour quite a few times. So we get to the end of 2021. It's still on tour. It's closed in London. And then it gets announced that it is going back to the other Palace. And it's still there to this day. It was only supposed to go there for a limited run of 2 months. And here we are in 2023 and it's still there. That show loves to extend at the other Palace, let me tell you. So the show opened at the other Palace with Elsa Davidson as Veronica and Freddie King as JD, and then unfortunately Freddie got really unwell and had to withdraw from the show, I think about a couple of months in, and that saw Jacob Fowler take over as JD, and he is now reprising his role on the second UK tour, which is due to open in a couple of weeks. So, yeah, and then there's been many cast changes at the other Palace, and we also had history made there, where obviously all 3 Heathers were played by covers in the same show. Then we had Hannah Lowther, who played all 3 Heathers. Surprised that girl still isn't in that show, but here we are. And yeah, there's been a lot of chaos in Heathers recently, but yeah, everybody loves a bit of chaos in theatre. It wouldn't be live theatre without the chaos. Let me tell you that one. Oh god, I don't know why I find myself so amusing. But yeah, so Elsa was in the show up until September of 2022, and then Erin Cardwell took over as Veronica. I won't get into too much detail about what I'm going to say next because, yeah, it's a very touchy subject. But there is a cast change coming up, and unfortunately quite a lot of the cast are leaving. I am not going to get into too much detail about that because, yeah, not going to set myself off again over that one particular cast member that I think everybody knows. But yeah, hey, it's a lot. It is a lot. And Heathers will be running in London up until the 3rd of September 2023, and it is obviously going out on its second UK tour. So let's talk about the cast for the second UK tour. So it will see Jenna Inez as Veronica, Jacob Fowler as JD, and one of my personal favourites is Billy Bowman will be playing Mac, and honestly, I'm so happy about that because Midwestern Surfer Punk, who Billy is currently playing at the Other Palace, that was a new role as kind of like a swing. Personally, happy about it. About time that show got swings. Story for another time. But yeah, for her to go from being a swing to being bumped up to one of the principals going on a 9-month UK tour, I absolutely love. And I can't think of anyone more deserving of it. But yeah, I think I've covered everything. Up to now, we don't know the cast for after this cast change. Again, I'm not going to go into detail about that. Up to now, we do not know that cast, but the UK tour cast got announced like a couple of days ago from filming this. So, yeah, I think I've covered everything. I hope I've covered everything. Please do not correct me in the comments if I haven't included everything. But, yeah, I'm just going off what Google give me. Leave me alone. I'm just there for the fun of it. I'm just here to give you the information. God, my throat. Okay, so this is editing me. Totally forgot to mention one thing. The pro shot. I completely forgot to mention the pro shot. So, Heathers was obviously professionally filmed at the Other Palace back in May of 2022. And it then got released on the Roku channel in the US and Canada, and it is also getting its UK release later next month in cinemas for one night only. So, God knows if we're going to get that on any streaming platforms over here. Personally, I hope we do, because it's not coming to a cinema near me. That's fun. I ain't travelling to go and see Heathers in cinema, so bring it to Manchester, please. Thank you. But yeah, I just thought I would mention that because I completely forgot to mention the pro shot. Anyway, back to the video. But yeah, told you it was a lot to talk about, guys. So, yeah, that was a lot to talk about. I've given myself a really dry throat now, so yeah, I'm not going to ramble for too much longer. There will be another show history video up at some point. I have an idea what I want to do for it, but I'm going to kind of like keep it as a bit of a surprise, so I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is, but all I'm going to say is it's a rocking musical. So yeah, see if you can work it out from that. But yeah, hope that you've learned something new about Heathers. Hope I included everything. Sorry to all the hardcore nuts if I didn't include everything. I tried to include as much as possible. But yeah, I'm gonna shut up now. So that is it from me. If you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you all soon for another video. Bye guys!